Hello everyone, my name is Vaishnavi and in this video we would be discussing certain concept-based questions from the previous year papers of the All India Bar examination, which is to be conducted on the 31st of October 2021. And I really hope that every one of you has done your preparation and also gotten your barracks with you and have gotten yourself familiar with them. So this session will be kind of a revision for all of you. So without any further ado, let's go on to the first question. Okay, so our first question is related to the Environmental Protection Act 1986. The definition of the environmental pollutant has been asked in this question. So what you can do in this question is go through the options and find out the answer that is nearest to the question which you feel like in accordance to the act, because you are not going to be able to take all the barracks of all the subjects given in the syllabus, and this is definitely one of those acts that generally people won't be taking with them in the examination hall. So what you can do is go through the elimination method and find out the correct answer. The correct answer to this question is option C, that is any solid, liquid or gaseous substance present in such concentration as may be or tend to be injurious to the environment. Okay, so our next question is related to the Information and Technology Act 2000. And the correct answer to this question is option C, that is phishing. Initially, phishing attracted section 66A of the Information and Technology Act 2000, but in 2015 this was scrapped. That is, this section was scrapped by the Supreme Court in the Shreya Singhal case and was declared unconstitutional as it was in violation of free speech, that is Article 19 of the Constitution of India. But currently this phishing attracts section 43 of the Information and Technology Act, that is penalty and compensation for damage to computer or computer systems, etc. In this question, what you can do is, if you actually know the answer, you can mark it, otherwise skip it. Moving on, our next question is related to PIL, that is public interest litigation. PIL was borrowed from the American jurisprudence. PIL literally means litigation that is filed in a court of law for the protection of public interest at large. The examples of this would be in relation to the pollution, terrorism, road safety, constructional hazards, etc. PIL has not been defined in any act or statute, and the utility of PIL is liberalized locus standi. Proceedings are non-adversarial, procedural requirements are liberalized, and the correct answer to this question is option D, that is all of the above. Okay, so our next question is an illustration based question. What you can do in these types of questions is that find out the act from which this question has been asked, and for that you can generally find out from the options given in the question. And from the options given in this question, you can see that this question is from the Indian Penal Code 1860, and then the next step is to find out the sections of each of the option, then go to the details of the section given, and then find out the illustration that has been asked in the question, and in whichever option you actually find the exact same illustration that has been mentioned in the question, you can mark that option as your correct answer. And in this one, the correct answer is option C, that is, it is not an offense. Our next question is in relation to the Indian Contract Act. This act is also one of the most important acts from which a few questions are being asked in the examination. So if you still haven't gotten the barrack of this act, then do get it and do carry it with you in the examination hall. It will be quite helpful for you. And the answer to this question is option number C, that is the principle of quantum merit. The section 70 of the Indian Contract Act states that the obligation of the person enjoying a non-gratuitous act, and the principle of quantum merit literally means as much as is deserved, that is, legal action brought to recover the compensation for work done when no price has been agreed. The actual answer to this question has not been given in the barrack of the Indian Contract Act, but if you know the meanings of the principles given in the option, then you can mark it with the help of that. Our next question is related to the Land Acquisition Act, wherein the definition of land has been asked, and the definition has directly been given in the Bare Act of the Land Acquisition Act. It is in the section 3A, and the answer to this question is option D, that is all of the above. See, I told you a few of the questions are being asked from the Indian Contract Act. This next one is one of them. This is a definition of agreement which is given in the Bare Act of the Indian Contract Act directly under section 2E, and agreement is a promise or a set of promises forming consideration to each other. That is option A. Okay. This question is an illustration based question, and you have to follow the same steps that you have followed the last time in such a question. But in this question, the first step has already been fulfilled in the question itself. That is, the act has already been mentioned. It is from the Indian Evidence Act. Now follow the second step, that is to go to the page numbers of all the sections that have been mentioned as options. Then find out the illustration that has been mentioned in the question, which is exactly the same mentioned in the sections given below. The section in which you find the illustration that has been mentioned in the question is your correct answer. Now the correct answer to this question is option C, that is section 115, that is the estoppel. The objective of estoppel is to avert the commission of fraud by one person against another person. Our next question is also an illustration based question. In this question also you have to follow the same steps that you followed the last time. This one is also from the Indian Evidence Act, and the correct answer to this question is option number B, that is section 6 of the Evidence Act, which is relevancy of facts forming part of the same transaction. The next question is in relation to the torts. The torts does not have any kind of bare acts, so this time you are not allowed to take any kind of reference books or printed notes, so you won't be able to take any material regarding torts in the examination hall. So since you don't have any kind of material with you, you might not be able to actually answer these questions, but if you have read it and you remember the concepts clearly, you can easily answer these questions. Now the answer to this question is option number B, that is joint tortfeasors. Joint tortfeasors are those who act together in committing the wrong, and if they act independently, they must unite in causing a single injury. Moving on, our next question is an illustration based question. In this question also you have to follow the same steps that you followed in the past. Now the answer to this question is either in Kolkata or in Delhi. Now in this question the act has not been mentioned. This is from the Civil Procedure Code 1908, and the section in which this question is in reference to is section 19 of the CPC, which is suits for compensation for wrongs to persons or movables. Our next question is from the Indian Contract Act. Direct definition of one of the options has been given in the question, and the answer to this question is bailment, which is in section 148 of the Indian Contract Act 1872. Now our next question is also an illustration based question. While in this question the act is already been given in the question, that is the Indian Evidence Act 1872, and the correct answer to this question is option number D, that is all of the above, and this is entirely in relation to the section 8 of the Indian Evidence Act, and which is motive, preparation and previous or subsequent conduct. Our next question is a definition based question. Decree holder means, and this question is directly taken from the Civil Procedure Code 1908, section 2 subsection 3, and the answer to this question is option number A, that is any person in whose favor decree has been passed or an order capable of execution has been made, and the definition of decree has been given in section 2 subsection 2 of the Civil Procedure Code 1908. Our next question is a definition based question, which is from the Companies Act 2013, and it is the definition of an associate company which is in relation to another company, And the answer to this question is option number B, that is a company in which that other company has a significant influence but which is not a subsidiary company of the company having such influence and includes a joint venture company. And this answer has been mentioned in section 2 subsection 3 of the Companies Act 2013. So if you have taken the barrect of this law, then you can definitely answer this question easily. Thank you so much everyone for watching this video till the end, and I really hope that this video helped you to a certain extent in revising your concepts for the exam, and all the best for your examination. Do well, don't panic, and if you don't know answer to certain questions, don't worry, you just have to get 40 of them right. And if you have any kinds of doubts regarding the examination or this video or anything else, you can always mention them in the comment section down below, and I'll try to solve them as many as I can. And yes, don't forget and one more thing, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye.